Hi, Luigi Tramontana here from Craft Animations. So, let's take a look at the SoftMotionCam. What does the SoftMotionCam do? Well, it softens motions, especially with cameras. Now, you could say that it's a light version of the motion filter cam. So if you have watched the motion filter cam tutorial, then you will find many similarities. The main difference is that the motion filter cam allows for sway motion also, except for just smoothing. It can also bounce and sway back and forth and do these more organic type of movements, so more action packed with the motion filter cam, I would say. It's a bit more complex, but the SoftMotionCam is just a terrific camera when it comes to following stuff. So it's a follow cam, I would say. Now, the second way to use it, except for following stuff with it, is to actually smooth your own camera motions or camera animations. So if you have a camera, let's just create a camera here very quickly, and I'll show you how to do that. Now, this scene is in meters here, so the camera is always created in centimeters in Maya. So I will just scale it up 100 times here, like that. Let's rotate it a little, like so and so. And now let's pretend that we have animated this camera, so it's moving around here, and I want to smooth this animation because it has some unnatural accelerations and stuff. This is quite usual in camera animation. The reason for doing this is to just eliminate the fact that it's has this robotic feeling. It gets a much smoother feeling with this one. And what I do here is to, in Maya, in 3ds Max I would just use the align tool, but in Maya I just parent it immediately, because that's what you have to do. And about that, let's have a look at the composition of the camera here before we do this. Now, the SoftMotionCam, as with the motion filter cam, consists of two cameras. The first camera is the attached cam, and then we have the follow cam, which is simply a child to the attached cam right now. And the attached cam you attach to something else, such as a car or a camera. And the follow cam will try to follow the attached cam as closely as possible, but smoothed, so to speak, in a soft way. And since the attached cam needs to be attached to something, you usually parent it to something. So that's the easiest way. So let's just parent this camera, the attached cam, to this now not animated camera, but let's pretend that it was animated, and I just parent it. And the simplest way here is just to zero all of these like that, bang. And now it follows the camera here everywhere, because it's just a child to it. So that means that the SoftMotionCam would actually, let's move that outside here, like that. Okay, so I will just delete this camera, and then we will continue with this tutorial here. Actually, I can undo everything like that. Bang. Okay, great. And let's just create a car here to show you the tool in action, like that. And let's bind it to something. Yeah, it's the Logitech. I usually use that gamepad. Let's take the keyboard just for now, since I'm not going to do any complicated car maneuvers here. And let's just parent this attached cam now to this car, and I press P here, and now it's attached to it like that. And if I just one more thing that is important: the SoftMotionCam is always dependent on the car movement, so it needs to be hierarchically below it. So everything is simulated from the top to bottom here, and if you have a dependence, this order is important because this one is dependent on the four-wheel extended. And if I just press record now, let's actually put on some shading here, and choose to let's just select the follow cam here so we can see what it does. Let's hide that one and just hit record here. Use the standard setting. Let's see what happens. So I have the car and I drive away, and what you see here is quite interesting. You see that the follow cam is actually quite far behind the attached cam. And for camera filtering and stuff, this could be a good setting. Otherwise, if we have a look at the parameters here, this camera only has 2 parameters. So it is really a simple cam when it comes to the number of parameters it uses. Now the translational response factor, this is when it moves in XYZ directions. The higher this one is, the faster it will move in that direction. I mean, it will follow the attached cam much closer the higher this one is, and the rotation correspondingly will rotate closer to the attached cam's rotations if it's higher. And as you see here, the rotations respond quite quickly here, while the translations were actually quite delayed here. And the way you work, if you want to put in a perfect camera following here and you want to change the parameters, well, the best way to do it is with the resimulate here. So let's just choose from one of the presets here. I would like it to use it as a follow cam. So bang, that increases the translational response factor, meaning it's faster than the camera we looked at right now. So I just resimulate this and see what happens. And with that, I hit play here, and let's see. Yeah, so what you see here is that the camera is actually following the attached cam much tighter. Not very tight, but tighter. And if we have a look through the follow cam, now this is quite usual in some situations that the clipping planes are a little messed up here of these cameras. So I just add a 0 there to this setting that you can set. Okay, so with that, if we have a look at how the follow cam works here, what you see here is that you get the smooth following of this car, even though it's shaking and yeah, it's moving around in a erratic way, and still you get this nice following of it. Compare that to the attached cam now. That we all know that an immediate parenting, we have to do the clipping plane on that one also. Now if we have a look at this one, this is as boring as you can make a camera animation. It's just glued to the car, so this immediately tells everyone that this is a computer animation, while this camera actually makes it look very natural immediately. And that's how simple simply you can do it. Now, as a last thing here, let's just look at the character Steadicam. It increases the translational factor to almost 1, which is very fast, and also increases the rotations. And if I resimulate that one and we have a look at it, then you will see that it's much tighter, but still it's not exactly tied to it. So that makes all the difference. So with that, I want to say thank you for listening to this one, and I think you will have very much use for this camera. Bye bye.